I am Iron Man. I held the false notion that I could operate on two tracks and run them both at the same time and neither would suffer.
Robert Downey Jr. has faced it all: arrests, addiction, and rehab. He once described his addiction as having a shotgun in his mouth. Yet, he turned his life around, becoming the iconic Iron Man and winning an Oscar for Oppenheimer. But what exactly did he go through before his rise to fame? Who were the unlikely allies that helped him claw his way back to the top? And just how much did he rake in as Iron Man, the superhero that resurrected his career? Let's take a look into his life journey and try to uncover the truth behind these recent concerns. Robert Downey Jr. was born in 1965 in New York City. His parents, Robert Downey Sr., an actor and director, and Elsie Ann, an actress, had 2 children together. Robert was born a year and a half younger than his sister, Allison. Robert's dad was half Lithuanian Jewish, half Hungarian Jewish, and his mom was of Scottish, German, and Swiss descent. His parents both acted and worked together, with his mom also helping his dad write movie scripts. Robert's family lived in Greenwich Village in New York City. It was an artsy and creative environment, but his parents had some problems. Robert's dad struggled with drug addiction and would let Robert try drugs at a young age. He later said he was sorry for doing that. As a child, Robert also started drinking alcohol and would make lots of phone calls for no reason. Most of his childhood was captured on film by his dad, who made artistic movies with dark humor and satire. Even though Robert's dad had problems, he still loved his son and gave him small roles in his movies. Robert's first movie appearance was in the comedy Pound, directed by his dad when Robert was only 5 years old. This early exposure to filmmaking sparked young Robert's interest in acting, and he even cherished the memories of the family bonding experience on set. As a teenager, Robert honed his skills at the Stage Door Manor Performing Arts Training Center in New York. However, his family life was tumultuous, and his parents divorced when he was 17. Determined to pursue his acting dreams, Robert dropped out of high school and moved to New York City. Despite his early start in the industry, success didn't come easily. He faced rejection and criticism, and his personal struggles with addiction began to overshadow his talent. He struggled to find steady work, taking on minor roles in films and television shows that didn't fully showcase his abilities. In 1983, he landed a role in the off-Broadway musical American Passion, but the production was short-lived. He then joined the cast of Saturday Night Live in 1985, hoping to gain wider recognition. However, the show's ratings plummeted, and Downey, along with most of the new cast members, was fired after just 1 season. Rolling Stone magazine even dubbed him the worst SNL cast member ever. It wasn't until the mid-'80s that Downey's career started to gain some traction. In 1984, while filming a small role in Firstborn, he met actress Sarah Jessica Parker, and they began a 7-year relationship. Parker hoped to help Downey overcome his struggles with addiction, but his problems ultimately led to their breakup in 1991. During this time, Downey starred in the low-budget drama Tough Turf, a teenage coming-of-age story. It was a supporting role, but it allowed him to showcase his acting chops and gain more experience on screen. The late 1980s saw Robert Downey Jr. experiencing a mix of success and setbacks in his acting career. While he gained recognition for his performances in films like The Pickup Artist and Less Than Zero, his personal struggles with addiction continued to plague him. Downey became close friends with his co-star James Spader in Tough Turf, even reportedly naming his cat after him. Despite the film's box office failure, critics praised Downey's performance, recognizing his talent and potential. This led to a more significant role in the teen comedy Weird Science, where he played a bully. The film was a commercial success, grossing nearly $40 million, but Downey's struggles with addiction were beginning to overshadow his promising career. Downey's life spiraled out of control as he battled his demons. He would often get so drunk that he would pass out in random places, sometimes even naked. He was frequently arrested for drug possession, and his behavior became increasingly erratic and unpredictable. Despite the negative attention, he continued to land roles in films, but his reputation as a troubled actor made it difficult for him to secure major projects. In 1987, he starred in The Pickup Artist alongside Molly Ringwald. The film had originally been intended for Warren Beatty, but he turned down the role, and it eventually went to the younger Downey. Interestingly, Beatty remained a producer on the film and even insisted on multiple takes for a kissing scene between Downey and Ringwald, showcasing his meticulous approach to filmmaking. Despite positive reviews, The Pickup Artist was a box office flop, failing to recoup its $15 million budget. Downey, however, continued to work, landing the role of Julian Wells, a troubled young man struggling with drug addiction, in the film adaptation of Bret Easton Ellis's novel, Less Than Zero. This role resonated with Downey on a personal level, as his own life was mirroring the character's downward spiral. During pre-production, Downey and co-star Andrew McCarthy attended a party to get into character, but the night ended with Downey howling at the moon in the middle of the street, requiring McCarthy to bail him out of jail. Downey later reflected on the role, saying it was like the ghost of Christmas future, an exaggeration of his own life. He admitted that the film industry was a wild place in the 80s, with rampant drug use, and he struggled to resist temptation. Although Less Than Zero didn't perform well financially, it gained cult status over time, and Downey's performance was praised for its emotional depth and raw honesty. This critical acclaim opened doors for him, leading to roles in bigger-budget films like Chances Are, Air America, and Soap Dish. However, his personal demons continued to haunt him, and he would soon face even greater challenges in his life and career. Downey also ventured into music, releasing his debut album, The Futurist, in 2004. He even co-designed the album cover with his son, Indio. While some of the tracks featured his piano skills, the album received mixed reviews, and Downey later admitted he probably wouldn't make another one. However, his love for music didn't fade, as he would later perform on stage with Sting, a story he recounted in an interview. In his 20s, Downey had fancied himself a great songwriter and even had a cassette of his demos. After attending a Sting concert, he tried to give the musician his cassette, but Sting simply handed it off to someone else. Downey felt like a starstruck fan, but he was determined to get his music heard. Despite this awkward encounter, Downey and his wife, Susan, eventually became close friends with Sting and his wife, Trudy. It's a testament to Downey's persistence and his ability to build connections, even with those who initially brushed him off. Another notable friendship in Downey's life was with George Clooney, who invited him to star in his film Good Night and Good Luck, 2005. Downey played Joseph Wershba, a writer and correspondent for CBS News, in this historical drama about the clash between journalist Edward R. Murrow and Senator Joseph McCarthy. Downey continued to take on diverse roles, even returning to television to voice a character in the animated series Family Guy. This opportunity arose when his son, Indio, a fan of the show, suggested that Downey offer his talents to the production team. In 2006, Downey starred in Richard Linklater's animated film A Scanner Darkly, based on a Philip K. Dick novel. This dark comedy explored a dystopian future where addiction is rampant and surveillance is omnipresent. George Clooney also had a hand in the film as an executive producer. Downey's willingness to experiment with different genres and mediums led him to the surreal film Fur, an imaginary portrait of Diane Arbus, where he played a mysterious man with animalistic features. While these roles showcased Downey's talent and versatility, his personal life was spiraling out of control. His addiction issues were worsening, and he began to resemble his character from Less Than Zero more and more. In the mid-90s, Robert Downey Jr.'s career was spiraling downwards, largely due to his escalating addiction issues. Despite the love and support from his wife, Deborah Falconer, whom he married in 1992, their relationship crumbled under the weight of his struggles. Even when Deborah was replaced by Sarah Jessica Parker in a play, she tried to support Robert and help him overcome his demons. But it was a losing battle. The couple had a son, Indio, in 1993, but even the responsibilities of fatherhood couldn't keep Robert's life from unraveling. The breaking point came in 1996, when Robert was arrested in a Los Angeles suburb for driving naked under the influence of drugs and alcohol. He was also found in possession of an unregistered firearm. This incident landed him in jail for 6 months, followed by a strict probation that included daily drug tests. Unfortunately, Robert's troubles didn't end there. He was arrested again for breaking into a neighbor's house and falling asleep on their couch. Despite these repeated offenses, the court showed leniency at times, opting for mandatory rehab instead of prison. During this tumultuous period, Robert continued to act in low-budget films like Two Girls and a Guy, a unique project filmed in real time and in a single location. He managed to stay clean during the filming, but his demons soon caught up with him. He missed a drug test in September 1997 and was sent back to jail for 4 months. Even film critic Roger Ebert, who acknowledged Robert's talent, couldn't ignore his struggles. He noted that Robert was a fine actor who was smart and in command of his presence, but his addiction issues were holding him back. The following year, Robert appeared in a supporting role in U.S. Marshals. But he openly admitted that he considered it one of the worst films in Hollywood history. He hadn't even bothered to read the script before taking the role, driven solely by the hefty paycheck. It was a desperate attempt to stay afloat financially while his personal life was crumbling. Robert Downey Jr.'s career hit a low point in 1999 when he relapsed and missed a court-ordered drug test. This landed him in the California Substance Abuse Treatment Facility and state prison, facing a potential 4-year sentence. His addiction had taken a toll on his personal life as well, with his wife Deborah leaving him and taking their son. At his court hearing, Robert described his addiction as a shotgun in his mouth, revealing the severity of his struggle. He admitted to using drugs since the age of 8, blaming his father, a former addict, for introducing him to them. After a year in prison, he was released on parole, but his problems were far from over. Film studios refused to work with him due to his reputation as a troublemaker, and he found himself ostracized by Hollywood. Determined to overcome his addiction, Robert sought help from specialists and rehabilitation programs. In a surprising turn of events, he landed a role in the hit TV series Ally McBeal in 2000. He played Larry Paul, a love interest for the quirky lawyer Ally McBeal, and his performance was a breath of fresh air for the show. Robert's talent shone through, earning him a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a comedy series and a Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actor. His return to the screen was met with applause and praise, signaling a potential comeback for the troubled actor. However, his demons weren't completely banished. Despite the success on Ally McBeal, Robert continued to struggle with addiction, leading to further legal issues and personal turmoil. Thanksgiving Day in 2000 brought a harsh reminder of his ongoing battle. Police raided his hotel room in Palm Springs, acting on an anonymous tip, and found illegal substances. He was once again facing jail time. Despite this setback, he continued filming episodes of Ally McBeal, having been released on bail. However, just a few months later, in April 2001, Downey was arrested again for wandering barefoot in Culver City under the influence of drugs. While he was released without charges, the incident led to his dismissal from Ally McBeal, a show he had helped revitalize with his performance. The consequences of his actions were severe. He lost a role in the romantic comedy America's Sweethearts and faced the possibility of years in prison. But a new California law, Proposition 36, offered him a lifeline. Instead of jail time, he was sentenced to 3 years of probation and mandatory rehab. After a year of intensive treatment, Downey emerged from the clinic with a renewed determination to change his life. But his journey to recovery was far from over. The stigma of his past made it difficult to secure work, as insurance companies refused to bond productions with him involved. Even acclaimed director Woody Allen, who was eager to cast Downey in his film Melinda and Melinda, was unable to do so due to the lack of insurance coverage. It was a heartbreaking setback for Downey, who had finally overcome his addiction but still faced the consequences of his past actions. In Hollywood, getting insurance for an actor is essential for any film project. It's a safety net for producers, protecting them financially if something happens to the star that could derail the production. But for Robert Downey Jr., his past struggles with addiction made getting insurance a major hurdle. No one was willing to take the risk on him, fearing he might relapse and jeopardize the project. However, one person believed in him: his longtime friend Mel Gibson. Gibson, who had also battled addiction in the past, knew the struggles Downey was facing and extended a helping hand. He offered to personally pay for Downey's insurance, opening the door for him to return to the big screen. Downey was deeply grateful for Gibson's support, recalling in an interview how Gibson had encouraged him to embrace his ugly side and accept responsibility for his past mistakes. This advice, Downey said, helped him find humility and a renewed purpose in life. With Gibson's backing, Downey landed the lead role in the musical comedy drama The Singing Detective. The film, a quirky and experimental project, allowed Downey to showcase his acting range and comedic timing. He even co-wrote and performed several songs on the soundtrack. This comeback role was a turning point for Downey, proving that he could still deliver a captivating performance and stay sober on set. It was a testament to his talent, resilience, and the unwavering support of his friend Mel Gibson. Interestingly, Gibson later revealed that Downey had returned the favor years earlier, supporting him during the backlash against his controversial film, The Passion of the Christ. This act of kindness solidified their bond and showcased the power of friendship and support in overcoming adversity. After completing Gothica, Robert Downey Jr. starred in the film Black and White, directed by James Toback. While the film received mixed reviews, Downey's performance garnered critical acclaim, highlighting his talent and charisma. Interestingly, the studio withheld 40% of Downey's salary as insurance against his unpredictable behavior, a practice that would become standard in his contracts for years to come. In 1999, Downey's struggles with addiction resurfaced, leading to a relapse and a missed court-ordered drug test. He faced a potential 4-year prison sentence, and his marriage to Deborah was on the brink of collapse. At a court hearing, Downey's desperation was evident as he likened his addiction to a shotgun in his mouth, revealing the grip it had on him. He attributed his struggles to his father, a former drug addict who had introduced him to drugs at a young age. Following his incarceration at the California Substance Abuse Treatment Facility and state prison, Downey served a year of his sentence before being granted early release. However, he faced a difficult road ahead. His wife had left him, taking their son, and studios were hesitant to hire him due to his history of unreliability. Downey's path to redemption began with the help of his friend Mel Gibson, who understood the depths of addiction. Gibson encouraged Downey to take responsibility for his actions and embrace the ugly parts of himself. This advice, along with therapy and rehabilitation, helped Downey overcome his addiction and regain control of his life. With his newfound sobriety, Downey started rebuilding his career. He appeared in Elton John's music video for I Want Love and gradually began to land new acting gigs. Gibson even went as far as to personally pay for Downey's insurance, enabling him to star in The Singing Detective 2004, a film originally written with Downey in mind. Gothica marked a turning point in Downey's personal and professional life. On set, he met producer Susan Levin, who would later become his wife. Despite her initial reservations about Downey's eccentric personality, she eventually fell for his charm and dedication to his sobriety. To prove his commitment to their relationship, Downey even got a tattoo of her nickname, Susie Q, on his arm. He also underwent another round of treatment in Los Angeles, further solidifying his dedication to a sober lifestyle. In a 2004 interview with Oprah Winfrey, Downey opened up about his struggles with addiction, emphasizing the importance of taking full responsibility for one's actions and seeking help. With his newfound sobriety and a supportive partner by his side, Downey's career began to soar. He landed the lead role in the crime comedy Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, thanks to his connection with Susan Levin, who was a producer on the film. The movie, which also starred Val Kilmer and Michelle Monaghan, was a critical success and served as a launchpad for Downey's comeback. Downey's musical talents also continued to shine. He released his debut album, The Futurist, in 2004, showcasing his songwriting and piano skills. He even contributed a song to the soundtrack of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Although he expressed doubts about pursuing a full-fledged music career, his passion for music remained a constant throughout his life. In 2006, Robert Downey Jr. starred in A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints, an autobiographical film directed by Dito Montiel. Downey shared the role of the adult Dito with Shia LaBeouf, who played the younger version. Interestingly, Downey had originally planned to direct the film himself, but after years of delays due to other projects, Montiel stepped in to take the helm. Downey, however, didn't completely abandon his creative vision. He became a producer on the film, following in the footsteps of his friend Sting. The film that truly marked Downey's return to the A-list was David Fincher's 2007 thriller, Zodiac. He played Paul Avery, a real-life journalist covering the infamous Zodiac killer case. Downey's performance was captivating, capturing the essence of a man consumed by his work and the pursuit of justice. The role had originally been offered to Brad Pitt, but after prolonged pre-production delays, Pitt dropped out and Downey stepped in. However, working with Fincher was no easy feat. The director was known for his meticulous attention to detail and his numerous takes, which clashed with Downey's more spontaneous approach. Downey later joked about having to hide containers of urine on set to avoid wasting time during bathroom breaks. Despite the challenges, Downey recognized Fincher's talent and ultimately decided to give him what he wanted. He even compared working with Fincher to being in a gulag, but acknowledged that it was a necessary experience to deliver a great performance. His portrayal of Avery, a once healthy journalist who descends into paranoia and addiction, was praised by critics and audiences alike. Zodiac, while not a box office smash, was a critical success, receiving numerous award nominations and solidifying Downey's comeback as a leading man. It was clear that the actor had returned from the brink of self-destruction and was ready to reclaim his place in Hollywood. And it was this film that caught the attention of Jon Favreau and Marvel Studios, who saw in Downey the perfect actor to embody their iconic superhero, Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr., an actor with critical success, didn't have a big blockbuster film until 2008. That changed when he starred in the superhero movie Iron Man in 2008. This was Marvel Studios' second movie after Hulk, and they were very careful with how they approached the Iron Man character. Robert played Tony Stark, a businessman who creates weapons. The character was based on Elon Musk and was charming, cynical, and sharp-tongued. Although the studio initially wanted Tom Cruise for the role, they ultimately chose Robert because he could relate to the character's experiences. The character was complex, hiding emotions behind a mask, but still had a heart and could make the right choices. In preparation for the role, Robert asked for Iron Man comics from the creators. He merged his knowledge of the character with his own experiences to form his interpretation of Tony Stark. During the pre-production process, Robert worked closely with director Jon Favreau, often visiting his office to work on the script and add humor to the movie. Through this role, Robert found success in blockbuster films and continued his growth as an actor. Following the success of Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. continued his reign as the beloved billionaire superhero in Iron Man 2, released in 2010. The sequel was a box office smash, raking in over $623 million worldwide and solidifying Downey's status as a global superstar. But he didn't stop there. That same year, he also starred in the hilarious road trip comedy Due Date alongside Zach Galifianakis, proving his comedic chops once again. Downey's next project was Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows, 2011, the sequel to the 2009 hit. He reprised his role as the eccentric detective, bringing his signature wit and charm to the character. The film was a critical and commercial success, further cementing Downey's versatility as an actor. In 2012, Downey returned to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Iron Man in the highly anticipated The Avengers. This superhero team-up movie was a global phenomenon, breaking box office records and becoming one of the highest-grossing films of all time. Downey's performance as the witty and charismatic Tony Stark was a major highlight of the film, earning him critical acclaim and the adoration of fans worldwide. Downey's career continued to soar with Iron Man 3, 2013, which explored Tony Stark's vulnerability and PTSD after the events of The Avengers. The film was another box office hit, proving that Downey's appeal as Iron Man was far from waning. He continued to reprise the role in subsequent Marvel films, including Avengers: Age of Ultron, 2015, Captain America: Civil War, 2016, Spider-Man: Homecoming, 2017, Avengers: Infinity War, 2018, and Avengers: Endgame, 2019. His portrayal of Iron Man became iconic, and his witty one-liners and heroic sacrifices made him a beloved figure in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In addition to his acting roles, Downey also hosted The Age of AI, a YouTube documentary series released in 2019. The series explored the potential impact of artificial intelligence on society, showcasing Downey's interest in technology and his desire to educate and inform the public. In 2020, Robert Downey Jr. took on the lead role in Dolittle, a family adventure film where he played a doctor who could talk to animals. It was the second film produced by his company, Team Downey, but it didn't quite capture the hearts of audiences or critics. Despite the star power, the film flopped at the box office and received negative reviews, with many finding it too long and lacking in energy. However, Downey bounced back in 2023 with his role in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. This time, he played the antagonist, Louis Strauss, a complex and controversial figure in the development of the atomic bomb. Downey took a pay cut for this role, earning only $4 million instead of his usual hefty paycheck, but he later described it as the best film he'd ever been a part of. The movie and Downey's performance were met with rave reviews, with critics praising his nuanced portrayal of the enigmatic Strauss. He even won a Golden Globe, a BAFTA, a Screen Actors Guild Award, and finally, his first-ever Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. It was a triumphant moment for Downey, proving his versatility and talent as an actor. In the same year, Downey's passion for cars and technology collided when he hosted the TV series Downey's Dream Cars. He and his team took some of his classic cars and converted them from gas guzzlers to electric vehicles, showcasing his interest in sustainable living and innovative technology. But Downey's acting journey wasn't over yet. In 2024, he returned to television after a long hiatus, starring in the HBO adaptation of Viet Thanh Nguyyen's novel, The Sympathizer. He played not one, but 5 different roles, representing the different facets of the American establishment. This challenging multi-role performance earned him an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a limited or anthology series or movie. Downey isn't slowing down anytime soon. He's set to make his Broadway debut in the play McNeil, playing a brilliant but troubled novelist with a fascination for artificial intelligence. The play will be performed at the Lincoln Center Theater in New York for a limited run, marking a new chapter in Downey's already impressive career. Robert Downey Jr.'s personal life has been a whirlwind of love, heartbreak, and redemption. His relationship with Sarah Jessica Parker, whom he met in 1984, was a passionate one, but it couldn't withstand the pressures of his addiction. They split after 7 years together, a heartbreaking end to a young love. In 1992, Downey married actress and singer Deborah Falconer after a whirlwind courtship. Their son, Indio, was born a year later, but the marriage was strained by Downey's repeated stints in rehab and jail. In 2001, Falconer left Downey and took their son, leading to a divorce in 2004. But it was on the set of Gothika in 2003 that Downey's love life took a turn for the better. He met producer Susan Levin, who initially wasn't interested in his advances, but their connection was undeniable, and they began a quiet romance during filming. Despite Susan's reservations about dating an actor, their relationship blossomed, and Downey proposed to her the night before her 31st birthday. They married in a Jewish ceremony in 2005, and Downey even got a tattoo on his bicep that reads Susie Q in tribute to his wife. The couple welcomed a son in 2012 and a daughter in 2014, completing their happy family. Beyond his marriage, Downey's friendship with Mel Gibson has been a source of support and understanding. They met while filming Air America and have remained close ever since. Downey has defended Gibson during his controversial moments, emphasizing that nobody's perfect and acknowledging Gibson's support during his own struggles with addiction. In 2011, Downey was honored at the American Cinematheque Awards, and he chose Gibson to present him with the award. Downey used the opportunity to thank Gibson for his friendship and support, highlighting the importance of compassion and forgiveness in navigating life's challenges. Robert Downey Jr.'s journey from addiction and turmoil to a happy family life and a successful career is a testament to the power of redemption and the importance of having a strong support system.